Diane here, your resource for all things systems and operations so that you can level up your business and live by your own rules. Today, I'm going to talk about 3 sneaky subconscious decisions that you might not even know that you've made that are actually keeping your business stuck in the same place and unable to grow and scale. All right. So I'm going to be sharing 3 of the most common decisions that I see business owners make subconsciously, a lot of times without even realizing it, that actually keeps them stuck. And I'm going to share what you should be doing instead so that you can move forward and grow and scale your business faster. So stay tuned. All right, so you've built a business, right? You might think that you are doing all of the right things because in fact, you've seen some tractions, right? You might have crossed over that $100,000 mark. Maybe it's getting a lot easier to bring in clients. Maybe you have a pipeline that's working. You're seeing your audience grow. So you think that you're making all of the right moves. But when you look about that next step for you, maybe looking at 125K or 150K or gasp, even getting to $200,000, it suddenly seems like those steps or getting there is so much farther away. And this is because running a 6-figure business can get heavier in some aspects, right? And it can be harder to manage. So you might think that you're ready to just find more time in your already packed schedule to do more so you can hit these bigger goals. But being in this space usually means that there are some conscious decisions that you've made, or maybe some subconscious decisions that you've made that actually make the business harder to run and therefore heavier, right? So that's what I want to talk to you about today. Are those decisions that you might not be aware that you're making that are impacting your ability to really grow and scale the business more easily? So the first thing that I see for business owners who are really stuck in this place where they feel like their 6-figure business is getting a lot heavier to run, it's a lot harder to reach their goals, it feels like they're really edging in on burnout and exhaustion, is one of these 3 things, right? The first one I see is the idea that I want everything to stay exactly the same in my business. But unfortunately, the nature of business is change, right? You will change, your business will change, and the way that you operate, especially as you grow and scale, will change. This can be a really scary thought for a lot of business owners, especially successful solopreneurs who want to keep things exactly running the same and running exactly how they would continue to run it if they were doing everything, right? But this is actually impossible. It is impossible for you to grow and scale and keep every aspect of your business exactly the same. If you want to stay exactly where you are, and for whatever reasons, maybe you feel like, marketing is really amazing because you're doing it. Maybe you think that, the relationships that you develop with your clients are amazing and that's a driving point within your business. So you have to keep doing it, right? So you have to keep doing it the exact same way or it will not have its same luster. It will not land the same way. The same thing with all of your marketing, right? If you're not the one doing the marketing, it won't land the same way. It won't have that impact. Maybe you think you're not energetically showing up for it then, right? So the problem with this is that yes, you can do things to keep the essence of what you want to happen, right? But the way that it's happening will need to fundamentally change so that you can scale, so that you can actually grow, right? You can keep the essence of this. And that means that you are looking more at, hey, what is the journey? What is the experience that I want my customers or I want my team members or do I want my followers or my audience to have? What is that experience? And keep your eye on the actual experience, right? What is the essence of the experience versus judging the process to get there? Because if people are hearing your same tone, whether you write it or not, it will land. If your clients are having the same experience in their journey with you, with your overall business, you will still continue to develop those relationships with them. The challenge in thinking that, hey, it has to happen exactly the same way that I do it, otherwise it won't land or it won't convert or won't be as good, is a subconscious decision or a thought that a lot of business owners have that's actually not true. So when you're in this space, if you're thinking like, hey, the business is getting really heavy, I'm finding it really hard to find things I can actually let go of or that my team can really support me in, be open to changing your process so that you can have the essence of the experience while some of the delivery or how it happens changes, right? Thinking that you can only do it one way or else it won't be effective is a key way to keep your business stuck. And I guarantee you will run into capacity issues if you go and continue on that path, right? So your operations will change, but as long as the experience and the overall essence of that experience stays the same, the operation, the way that it's delivered can and should be adjusted, right? As you grow and you scale your business. The second subconscious decision or thought that a lot of business owners have when they're trying to grow their business and they're getting stuck is no one can do it better than me. That no one can do it better than me mentality. And you might feel like this because you might feel like you're the end all be all best creator of all the things in your business. This is actually really common, right? Because the business is your baby. You created every part of it, right? You had your hands in it. I'm sure you put your blood, your sweat, your tears, not literally, but into this business, into creating something amazing. And yeah, since you built everything, you know intimately how it works and why it works that way and how it adds to the experience. And it can be really hard to think that, hey, maybe somebody else can do this better than me, right? And while it might be true that you are the best creator, the end all be all in some parts of your business, there are also parts of your business, and there will always be parts of your business where other people can do the same or better work than you can do, right? So you might just think that, hey, it's you that needs to do everything, but the big difference is that, the big difference between knowing what you want and thinking that, hey, I'm the only one that can do better is knowing what you want versus trying to control every aspect to the point that no one can actually help you, right? That's the difference I want you to make because yes, as the creator of your business, of the creator of many of the different things within your business, yeah, you're gonna know very specifically what you want and whether or not it's right or up to your standard. But the difference is when you've made this subconscious decision that no one can do it better than me is when you want to control the entire process to the point where no one can actually help you, where no one can actually support you because you literally are the only person who can do everything because you do everything the best. And that's what I'm really talking about here is you might not know that you're doing this. So when you're thinking about your business or you're thinking about the people that you've ever worked with in the past, whether they're team members or outside vendors or strategists that you've worked with, consider like, hey, are you constantly criticizing their work? And when you think about the work that they do for you, do you automatically just start to think of all the ways it doesn't sound like you, that you would do a better job, that you need to make all of the changes because it's just not on brand for you? Like if you're in that critical mind state where yeah, you just don't think that anyone can ever do as good as you, you're automatically going to go into every review session. You're going to look at every deliverable and be like, this is already bad, right? And that's a problem because no one can ever help you if you're not willing to let them be just as good as you, right? Because newsflash, no one is exactly like you. There are going to be some things that you're doing that are just not going to be replicatable or things that maybe are inefficient that other people are going to be able to do better than you. But if you're not open to actually seeing someone else doing better than you, then no one will ever be able to help you and you will never be able to grow past your own capacity, right? So if this is where you are, then I suggest you start to shift your thinking more along the lines of like, hey, is this end result, this work product, this deliverable, is this aligned with what I want versus this work has to be done in the same way that I do it, otherwise it won't get results, right? Somebody might not necessarily create a document or a graphic or a post the exact same way that you do, but that doesn't mean that it's not good. So really ask yourself, does this get the job done? Does this answer the question? Or does this get to the same end result or the same goal that I want? And let that be a way that you can let go of some of the control so that people can actually help you and you can grow your business faster, right? And you get away from being your own capacity cap. And then finally, the third piece that I see a lot of business owners subconsciously thinking or the subconscious decision that I see them making is I can do it faster myself. this might sound a little bit like that, well, no one can do it better than me mentality, but the difference here is that when you're in this place, you're really thinking that you're being practical, right? And this is something that I see with my clients. They think they're being really practical by doing things themselves. They think that they're being more efficient. They think that they're being really reasonable by doing things themselves because they're interested in the speed of being able to get things off of their plate or off of their to-do list. And maybe they even love some of the work that they're doing, but it's not necessarily super high impact work, right? If this is you, maybe you're doing a lot of things that are not necessarily high impact for your business, but you really love doing it. So you're just like, I'll just do it, right? Like I really love creating graphics in Canva, so I'm just gonna do it. Even though it is something that is maybe like not necessarily faster or not necessarily a great use of your time, the reason why operating like this actually keeps you stuck is because it doesn't give you any opportunity to transfer knowledge, your preferences, or your decision making or your thought process to anyone supporting you. So you're not actually able to delegate things that are more complex tasks, more complex projects, decisions, or creativity within your business. You know, I see this a lot with creative pieces. Oh, it's just faster for me to do it myself because I know what it should look like. I know what I want it to look and feel like. And I want my marketing team to be really efficient is usually the kind of like the scenario that I see with a lot of clients. But the problem with this is because you're doing all of these pieces yourself, you're not really giving your team the opportunity to learn your real preferences, to learn, how you make complex decisions or how you review or QA certain pieces that will actually streamline your process and allow you to really be more efficient in the future. Because let me tell you, even though it might not be taking up a lot of your time right this second, right now, at some point, there will be a time where you will not be able to do it yourself. You will not have the time on your agenda, on your plate, or within your schedule to actually do even the things that you really enjoy, right? And if you haven't set the seeds, or if you haven't kind of given your team the opportunity to start to understand your thought process and your preferences in a really intimate way, so they can actually apply it, and it's not just like, well, theoretically, she doesn't like Libre Front, or, things like that, then you miss out on the opportunity to transfer that knowledge. And let me tell you that point where you don't have the time to actually do some of these things, where it's actually not faster for you anymore because you're at capacity, comes a lot sooner than you think. Across the board, 100% of the time, that point comes a lot sooner than a lot of my clients think. And when they're in that place, it becomes a lot more difficult and challenging to transfer that knowledge, right? It becomes a lot more difficult and time consuming for them to start getting their team members up to speed on, how they would make decisions, what they're thinking through when they're managing their own launch or trying to break down certain strategies or executing certain marketing initiatives or creative pieces within their business. So that's what I really want you guys to get away from. And that's a subconscious decision that you might be making, right? You might think that, oh, it's years away before I'll be able to delegate this. So it's months away. I got plenty of time to think about it. But more often than not, this point comes a lot faster than you realize. And I have not met a client yet who hasn't wished they'd started the process sooner with their support team so that they would be in a better place. They wouldn't be so overwhelmed. They wouldn't be so close to burnout, when they get to that kind of capacity point within their business. Because if you're at the place where you're actually hiring, if you're at the place where you're actually building and growing, you've gotten some traction, you can get to, it's only a matter of a couple more clients, or it's usually a matter of a couple more activities, and then you're really hitting the wall, right? Like that's what I see for the most part, especially with the clients who've actually just crossed over the 6 figures, or who made the big jump, right? And then suddenly becomes very heavy to manage the business, usually because you don't have that underlying structure in place and everything really falls back on you. And these are the decisions that I see they've made either consciously or subconsciously, that really keep them stuck in the same place. So if you find that you're in this place and you're done making these subconscious decisions and you want to accelerate your growth and you want to move forward faster than ever before, then come to my masterclass, the Sustainable 6-Figure Success Formula, where I will be going over my exact formula to have a sustainable 6-figure business that will actually be easier than ever to grow, right? The registration link is in my bio. I'll see you there. Bye, guys.